What's happening, guys? It's your boy Adam from Shisha Central, and today I'm going to be taking you back to basics. I've released a new series called Shisha Basics. This is episode 1, and the tutorial today I'm going to be showing you is how to make a standard shisha. The reason I've done this series is because I get loads of questions on Instagram and Facebook from all of you guys about how to start a basic shisha up and how to make it, how to clean it, etc. So I thought I'd do a step-by-step series of all the different questions you guys have been asking me. So today, very simple, how to make a standard shisha. Everything I do is for the UK market, so I'm going to be using products that we mostly use here, and I'll also be talking about the different components and the way we speak about them here, so different lingo, different jargon that we use here in the UK. So if you don't get it and you're from abroad and you're watching this, I'm sorry, but I'm going to try my best to make it as universal as possible. But most of the people asking me these questions are from the UK. So let's get started, get right into it. I'm going to show you guys the different parts of the shisha when you first get it. And I'm using the most used shisha in the world, Khalid Mamoon. So let's get it. Let me show you how to put the shisha together and what these parts are called. Let's go. So guys, everything you see on this table usually comes with a basic Khalid Mamoon shisha. So today for this tutorial, I'll be using a shisha called Khalid Mamoon Black Sharif. It is a very basic model by them, but it isn't the most basic. They have another one called Calf Style KM and a few others. So this is kind of a semi-premium pipe that they do from their own brand. So on the table, we got everything you need to make a shisha, apart from the flavor and the coal, which I'll get to later. But everything else you see, this is all you need. So this is what you call a base. It also has a base protector. Sometimes you get them with a Khalid Mamoon, sometimes you don't. So don't be surprised if you don't. Then this is a Khalid Mamoon funnel bowl. I like to use funnel bowls more than Egyptian clay bowls and silicone bowls, especially for some of the tobacco we have here in the UK market, which is lots of blonde tobacco and alfalfa, so I like to use this the most. Then obviously you got your tray, then you got your stem. So with these old traditional shishas, everything's together. So your downpipe is welded with your stem, hose ports there, purges over here. So it's not like some of these modern ones you see nowadays where everything's unscrewable and stuff. It's all in one, easy to use, and it's great for entry-level shisha. If you are a beginner, I highly suggest you start off at this end, because all of us back in the day started off with the old school traditional Khalid Mamoon. So this is the stem with the downpipe. You will also need a hose. I'm not using the hose that comes with the Khalid Mamoon shisha because I personally do not like them, but I'm using a silicone hose called the D hose instead. I highly recommend you get a silicone hose. Khalid Mamoon washable hoses, as they like to call them, aren't really that washable. If you're using one flavor only, like double apple or mint or grape and mint, then it's fine. But if you like to mix your flavors, get a silicone hose or a disposable pipe. Also for today, you'll need some foil. I like to use 2 sheets of foil. Make sure it's strong. Do not use any cheap foil from the supermarket. Get extra strong. Here in the UK, you can get a number of foil. This one is called Kirkland. You can pick it up from the store Costco. So go over there and pick up a massive roll. Not that expensive either. And then this device over here, in the UK is very familiar. A lot of you would have known what this is. This is called a chimney pan. This is our so-called HMD. It creates a barrier between the foil and the coal, so we can have a longer session. With my experience, you normally have around a 15 to 20 minute longer shisha session with blonde leaf tobacco when using this with 3 or 4 coals, then putting coal directly on the shisha bowl. So this chimney pan. And then, yeah, that's all the components you need to make a shisha. So now I'm going to show you step by step how to assemble it and what to do. So let's go. So guys, first step is to fill your shisha base with water. We highly suggest you use cold water, not ice cold, but just cold. And make sure you don't put any sort of warm water in the base. Once you see that it's reaching a level that matches your downpipe, stop filling. And then as you see, when you first get this shisha, you're gonna have to start testing it with the downpipe because they're all different lengths. But after a while, you get used to where on the scale you need to put your waterline, and then hopefully after that, it'll be very quick for you after your first few attempts. So now off to step 2. So guys, time for step 2. Real quick, this is your stem. This is a grommet on the stem. So on this bit, sometimes it can be a bit dry, and when you're trying to put it in the base, it'll be a bit tough. So all you have to do is wet your hand a bit, go like this, and then it should slip in nice and comfortably into your base. And then to do a little test to make sure it's not too loose, just simply lift your shisha up, go like this a few times, and as long as the base doesn't come out, you're fine. But still, make sure you hold it from here. Now, time for step 3. So now guys, time for step 3. You want to ensure that your downpipe is only submerged underwater by 1.5 to 2 inches maximum. The reason for this is if it's submerged by 3 or 4 inches, this may cause your shisha to be very hard to toke and pull, and you could potentially get water in your hose, which you don't want. And if it's too under, then you just won't be able to get a good smoke out of it. So as you can see, 1.5 to 2 inches over the bottom of the downpipe. Obviously this base, it has patterns on it, but usually it's much clearer to see. But yeah, make sure your water level's at that. Guys, this is step 4. I like to call this quality check because basically you're going through all the parts of the shisha that you need to make sure are on before you pack the bowl and do the rest. So first things first, step 4, put the tray on. After you do that, ensure that you have the bowl grommet on and the hose grommet on your hose. And then go ahead and put your hose in to the stem nice and tight. Make sure it's tight because if there's any air leakage, this will affect your smoke. And then simply wrap your hose around your shisha nicely in preparation for your smoke session. So guys, step 5 is time to pack the bowl. So over here, I've got 3 different tobaccos. 2 of these tobaccos are used in the UK quite a lot. And this tobacco over here is Famari White Gummy Bear. The reason I've used 3 different tobaccos is in the UK market, a lot of people like to mix their flavours. And we have a lot of local tobacco that people use. So for this tutorial, I'm going to show it this way. So this is one of the tobaccos. It's quite choppy, has a lot of stems in it, which I don't like. So when you have a tobacco that has a lot of stems in it, what I do is I take them out. So stems are like this. They're like little stems that are attached to tobacco leaves. Just take them out. The reason for it, my personal preference is taking them out is because at the end of the day, when they burn in the bowl, the last thing you want is one of them catching light quite nicely, and then that's just going to make your whole shisha session taste harsh. I've come across it when I've been at lounges, so what I like to do, I like taking them all out. Obviously it's a long process, so you might not be able to take every single one out, but as many as you can, that would be good. And then because it's quite choppy and it has quite big leaves, as you can see, just chop it up a little bit. Not overly chopped up, just a little bit, as you can see. So now, you can do it with a scissor, knife, whatever you prefer, but now, as you can see, it's been chopped up, and that's that. So that is one part of the mix. This is another flavour used in the UK, it has a bit of a different texture. You may find stems in this as well. So just take them out like so, as you can see. And then over here for the last tobacco is Famari White Gummy Bear. The way their tobacco is very, very fine, so you don't really need to do anything with it. It's ready to go in the bowl. So this is the way I do it. So if I just pick up all the residue off my hand, get the bowl like so. If you're a beginner, you might want to put something in here just to block any tobacco leaves going down there, but it's not a biggie. So once you got it, I just like to gently put in the tobacco like so. Make sure it's all in place nicely, that there's not that many gaps. Then Next mix, put that in again. Make sure you don't put your thumb down on it or dense it, because this sort of tobacco isn't there to be dense too much, you know. It's about keeping it fluff, keeping it normal, and just making sure that's all good. And for the last bit, let's put a bit of the Famari in there, like so. Again, just play around with it, make sure it's all there. And then for the last bit, I like to just ensure that there's no tobacco hanging over the rim. Get your hand like this, just go like this to make sure there's no residue over here on the top, because when you put the foil on it, sometimes when it burns it turns black at the top over there. And there you have it. It's a normal sort of pack, slightly fluffed, neat and clean, all level, so simple as that. If you find any bits are missing or you need to top it up, you just get your tobacco, put it in the right sections, and there you go. That's how you pack it. Obviously for this demonstration, I've done a bit of flavour wastage, but as you go on, you'll be able to gauge properly how much tobacco should go in each part. I just made sure that I had enough for this tutorial. And yeah, now it's time to foil your bowl. So you're gonna wash your hand or wipe it again. When you foil your bowl, there's two ways. You can do it shiny side up, shiny side down. To be honest, I've never really found the difference. I'm a shiny side up sort of guy. A lot of people might say, oh, that's wrong, but you know what? I like my smokes like that. So any way you do it, it's not a problem. All you have to do is make sure the foils are aligned, like so. Make sure that all sides of the foil nice and straight, so your pack looks good. Like so. Then once you know your foil looks cool, then you can just start off with the holes. So, the way you do your holes, it all depends on preference. Some people like to do only a few holes, some people like making so many. It's all up to you. The way I do it, I just go simply around it like this. Make sure they're all around the same size. Make sure it's evenly out everywhere. Just fill them in where you need to. And yeah, that's your hole. So now for the next step. So guys, for step 6, you're gonna put 4 pieces of coal on. The reason I'm using 4 is because I'm using a chimney pan, so you need a bit more heat to start up. So you can either use a coal burner like this, or if you have a gas cooker hob, you can also light them on there as well. But I find using this is very simple and easy. Today I'm using 320. 320 are a well-known coal brand here in the UK. So wait 5 or 10 minutes for these to light up. And once these are half cooked, give them a turn so the other half can cook, and then when they're red, they're ready. So now guys, ready for the next step. As you can see, coal is now cooked. So you're gonna get the chimney pan like so. You're gonna put the 4 pieces on here like so. And make sure your coal burner is turned off. Don't want to make that mistake. And make sure they're all positioned nicely on the bowl, like so. And now, it's time to smoke. So guys, now it's time to smoke. I know that was a very in-depth tutorial. The reason I've done that is because I have tried to send messages and lists and short videos to some of my followers in the past, and they still ask me some questions. So I thought by doing a very in-depth one, which I know was long, but hopefully you've learned a lot from it. And yeah, so I've left the coal on for about 5 minutes after putting it on. Now it's time to take the first pull. As you can see, decent clouds. With the colour in my moon, you can still get quite good clouds out of it. I know that a lot of people are talking about Russian stuff and German stuff, which I'm definitely a fan of, but you can still get a good smoke out of a colour in my moon. So yeah, let me keep smoking just to show you guys. Got some decent clouds. So I'm just going to go over a few more points, just because if I miss anything out during the tutorial, I want to make sure all your questions are asked. So once you put the coal on and it's set up for 5 minutes and start smoking, with the way I showed you how to pack, you shouldn't get any harshness. If you do find it's getting strong, just take one coal off. So there's only 3 coals on. Another few things that can disrupt your smoke session are obviously the purge. So if you have a purge and there's no ball bearing in it, make sure there is, because if you don't have one in there, it's not going to smoke properly. As well as making sure your foils are nice and tight. And apart from that, making sure there's no air leaks. So nothing from the chamber, nothing from the hose. And you're good to go, really. So I hope you enjoyed the first episode of Shisha Basics, how to set up a standard shisha. If you have any other sort of basic stuff you want me to cover, let me know. I will be doing a how to clean shisha and a few other packing bowl tutorials for using different bowls like hooker drum bowls, alpaca bowls, and different tobaccos like dark leaf. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, let me know your feedback in the comment section. And remember, this is the way I do my stuff. There's loads of other ways of doing it. I'm not saying the way I do it is the best in the world or is the worst in the world, just the way that I find it works best. So give it a try. Hopefully it works for you. If it doesn't, let me know, and I will try my best to assist you or direct you to a few other ways of packing and making the shisha. So yeah, guys, take care, and I'll see you later.